Hi, this is Trey Pass, and welcome to my review of Love and Monsters. This movie came on pay-per-view, actually. Uh, or anyway, I think it's like 25 bucks, but anyway, I saw it through other means. But anyway, I was looking forward to this since I saw the trailer of this because I'm a big Dylan O'Brien fan. He plays the title character in this movie. He plays a character named Joel Dawson, and it takes place like 7 years after the Earth's been taken over by a monster apocalypse. Basically, all the creatures like caterpillars, frogs, and all this stuff have grown to monster size and basically overrun the earth. And there's only a few people left. There's not that many people left, and they're mostly living in underground, in hidden colonies and stuff. And Joel, he doesn't quite fit in the colony that he's in. He doesn't quite feel in because everybody's kind of paired up, and he's kind of by himself in a way. Even though the people that tuck him in, they take care of him and all that stuff. But he's sort of by himself. But he thinks back to 7 years ago when he had his high school sweetheart uh, named Amy that he got really close to when he fell in love with, and before the monster apocalypse happened and they got separated. And he reconnects with her on like the ham radio that they have, and he finds out that she's on a colony, you know, on the coast by the water, and he decides that there's nothing left for him in the colony that he's in. He decides to go up top and go searching for her, even though he has no real experience with all the creatures and stuff that's basically overrunning everything up on the top. But he decides to venture out anyway, and this is that story of that journey to find Amy and stuff and what happens. Okay, and I really like this movie a lot. Some people think it's sort of a mix of Zombieland, and I can see that in a way because it's kind of the character of Joel Dawson, Dylan O'Brien. He kind of narrates the story as you go along and stuff, and he meets various people on his way, to finding Amy and stuff. And also, Michael Rooker is in this movie. He plays one of the people that he meets on this journey. And there's also a young actress named character named Minnow, played by Ariana Greenblatt. I think I've seen her in a couple of Disney's stuff. Anyway, but he meets them, and he meets a couple of other people, and of course he meets various monsters and stuff along the way to find his dream girl, Amy, played by Jessica Henwick, who we remember from Iron Fist. And it's a really enjoyable movie. Like I said, Dylan O'Brien, I know him from Maze Runner. I know he was on Teen Wolf and all that stuff. And I also think he'll make a great Nightwing if they ever make a Nightwing movie, or if they ever bring him into the DCEU, which I hope they do eventually, because they need Dick Grayson. Besides, the Titans one on the DC streaming service, which is now going to be HBO Max. But for the movies, I would love Dylan O'Brien to play, Dick Grayson, Nightwing. I think he'd make a great Nightwing. Anyway, but he's great in this because, like I say, he's always good with the comedy and stuff, and he's good with the drama and the romance. And like I said, this movie is it's comedy, it's kind of drama, a little romance in there, and a little action in there. It has a little mix of everything in this, and it's a really entertaining movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it really kept me going. Like I said, some people think it's sort of like Zombieland, that Joe is an artist and he kind of writes about the monster. He kind of draws the monsters that he sees, that he encounters and stuff, and their weaknesses and stuff. And he kind of has a book about it and stuff. So in that way, I guess it's like the rules for Zombieland. So, although I don't think they ever wrote them down in Zombieland, but in here he kind of keeps a journal and he writes everything down. And like I said, I don't want to spoil the movie, but like I said, you'll find out if he ever hooks up with meets Amy again and stuff. But the most important part of this movie is the journey to him, going up to the surface and going on that journey and exploring this new world and finding out, all the dangers and stuff and everything else that's in this world, and whether he's tough enough to survive it. And it really is quite good. Like I said, Michael Rooker is good. Like I said, he's one of the guys that he meets along the way and stuff, kind of gives him advice and stuff, and shows the little young actress who plays Minnow. I thought she had Ariana Greenblatt. I thought she was really good. And of course, there's a character, I guess, a dog actor in this that Joel meets along the way, who's really good, really well trained and stuff. And he's another character onto himself. And like I said, Jessica Henwick, she plays Amy, and her character to me she's not in the movie as much as you might think she's in it, and her character is sort of stereotypical in the way, especially because kind of her character is kind of viewed through the lens of Joel. So she doesn't get her own kind of agency. But hopefully if they make a sequel to this, maybe you'll explore that more, in this movie, in this universe. But I enjoyed this movie, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing these characters again in this movie, because I thought it was very enjoyable and very entertaining, and it brought a smile to your face. And like I said, and Dylan O'Brien's a really likable actor and really quite good. And I heard that he was supposed to be up for the Spider-Man role that Tom Holland got. So I could see him, Peter Parker thing with him too. But I think he'd make a great Nightwing, or what's the character that plays the character? I forgot the character's name. Jesus Christ! The Batman that's with jeez, I can't remember the character's name now. Terry McGinnis. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember that. Think of the character in Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis. But I would love for him to be Nightwing. I think he'd be a great Nightwing. Okay, so who knows? Maybe now that they have the multiverse in the DCEU, maybe they'll bring him on to that, because I think Dylan O'Brien is really talented and he deserves to be a bigger star, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to give Love and Monsters, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And again, Dylan O'Brien is really good and very likable in this, and he handles the comedy really well. And he, like I say, he has charisma, and like I said, I've seen him in the Maze Runner movies and stuff, so he has charisma and he can hold the screen. So I definitely enjoyed him in this, and definitely wouldn't mind more movies in this to continue to make sequels to this. Anyway, and I love Jessica Henwick. Anyway, I loved her from Iron Fist and stuff. And here she's, like I said, her character is kind of stereotypical, girlfriend role. But I think she does the best she can with the role that she has, and she's a good actress as well. So I definitely wouldn't mind seeing, these characters again. So again, a 7 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think. If you've seen Love and Monsters, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel, Paul Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Troy Pastor saying so long and take care.